Welcome to this Read and Lead series of videos. You're listening to Anil Kumar. Today we are talking about the third alternative by Stephen R. Covey, Solving Life's Most Difficult Problems. In this book, we get an idea about the methods that we can use to resolve our interpersonal problems, be it at home, be it at office. For the families and for the firms, an alternative method to resolve interpersonal problems. And the most important teaching is that everyone deserves respect. Whether you disagree with the person or not, you have to treat them respectfully. And even if you disagree vehemently, you should not lose sight of the respect. Everyone has problems and conflicts, and every problem has a solution. We have been thinking on a two-pronged approach, a yes or no, black or white, yin or yang, Democrats and Republicans, whatever it is, but that may not be the right way of thinking for today's world, because that is one person wins, another person loses. People normally define themselves according to the beliefs, and this causes the conflict, because whoever does not believe in what you believe is the other, is an alien, and is not an individual. Instead of two alternative approach, why not we think about a third alternative, so that there is no personal criticism or personal vengeance. The third alternative problem solving approach is helpful to solve any dispute. If a person of your intelligence and competence and commitment is disagreeing with what I am saying, then that means there is something in you which is worth listening to. And there must be something that causes you to disagree, which I don't see. I can't understand, and I need time to understand your perspective, to understand why you disagree with me. This is what we should tell verbally and within ourselves every time we face a disagreement. First, see yourself. What's your cultural background, what is your environment, and why you believe in something. Next, really see the other person, why that person is saying so, what is in his mind, what is he aiming at. Ask for that person's viewpoint and work together to synergize to find a third alternative. Ask if the person is willing to find a mutual solution and experiment it together to implement. Let the other person speak at length without interrupting. Listen carefully, actively, attentively. Let him pour out all that he has. When you run into difficulties or roadblocks, maintain a strong character. Maintain a mental serenity. Don't get upset, don't get angry, don't react. Treat yourself well. Respect yourself and have faith in your unique individuality. At the same time, treat the other person also well. Respect them. Treat them as individuals and be fair to them. Some people don't believe in or want a meeting of minds. Some people don't accept a mutual beneficial solution. But still, keep trying. Do not lose track, because there is always a third alternative. Life is not full of black and white, but there are a wide array of colors in between. Problems are everywhere, in firms or in family, between governments, between races. The best response is, you disagree. I need to listen to you more. I mean it, so that I agree or I understand what you're trying to say. Until we understand the people's hearts, not just their minds or ideologies, nothing can happen. We need to understand their feelings, their emotions. Adopt an open mind frame. Listen. Don't assume or presume. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't rehearse your responses. Actively listen. Think win-win. Think of ways and means how you can offer something to them, and not just one person win, the other person lose. Seek to understand than to be understood. Most people have no workable solutions for their conflicts. Doesn't matter. And it's nothing wrong in trying a third, mutually beneficial alternative. Many times people resign themselves to keeping their fingers crossed, hoping for something miracle to happen. It doesn't happen. You need to take an effort to resolve the problem. Thorny problems requires a radically different approach. Unless you think from a different viewpoint, you will not find a solution. Three alternatives are better than two. Why? Because distrust and discord are inevitable in a dichotomy. When you say it is either black or white, then distrust and discord will happen. It is never that you are with us or against us. Selfhood confines the thinking. It makes you defensive. So be contrarian. Think at other way. Think at a situation where there are no winners and no losers, but everybody wins. Everybody gains something. Everybody has something to take away. Be innovative, be creative. Put in all your critical thinking skills and problem solving skills and come up with an alternative that has benefit to each of the parties. Don't go into the liberals versus conservatives, or the workers against the management, or rural against the urban, or environment against development, or science versus beliefs, religion versus science. No, don't go into the socialism versus capitalism type of argument. It is not that you are a believer in an idea and others are non-believer in that idea. It is that people are not able to understand the idea, maybe because you are not spoken well, maybe because you are not heard well. So it is not a spouse versus spouse fight. There is always a third better alternative where both the parties win and there is no spouse but only a family. Compromise is not really satisfactory all the time, because in any zero-sum transaction, in any compromise, one person wins and other person loses. The person who compromises sacrifices. That is a mindset. It's not necessary to always concede. It's not necessary to surrender. Think of synergy. Think how you can work together, how you can make 1 plus 1 not just 2, not just 200, but more than that. Go for the meeting of the minds. Think what has happened in history ever before. Those with opposing views are not your enemies or outsiders. They are a different holder of an idea. Remember, neither you are virtuous or patriotic or reasonable, nor are they. And they are also never fit to be treated as evil, traitorous or idiotic, because that definition will fit for you too. Those in the middle may beg for competing sides to compromise for an easy solution, but don't agree. Try to see what is best in everybody's interest. See that everybody gains something. First, satisfy the need to be understood, satisfy the need to be valued, satisfy the need to be respected. Then the other person will be able to come around and see your viewpoint. The more you listen, the more you understand what their emotional appeal is. When somebody disagrees, that means some emotional thread of his has not been attended to. What is the third alternative? Problems we have cannot be solved from the same level of thinking with which we have created them. If you think from the same level, we will have only dichotomy. I will stick to my view, you will stick to your view, I versus you. How we see things determines what we do, and what we do determines the results. How we see determines what we think determines what we do. That is the output. Therefore, we need to think differently. For that, we need to view differently. For that, we need a paradigm shift. Would you be willing to look for a third choice? Ask. Keep on asking yourself. Keep on asking the other party. Would you be willing to look for a third choice? Something that no one else had tried, something that will be mutually beneficial, something that you need to experiment, something you need to work together, something nobody has thought of. Ask. Keep on asking. So that the total outcome is definitely greater than the parts. Rather than insisting on your point, rather than compromising, rather than agreeing, rather than forcing them to agree, which leaves much to be desired, that is, it sows discord. Make a proposal with whom you are arguing. Tell them no one is exploiting. Would you be willing to look for a third choice where someone or no one else had thought before, no one has done it? It's a positive approach towards the possibilities. It is not a solo act, but an orchestra. First you have to say, I see myself. How do you do that? Too many people adopt a stereotype thinking, which has prejudices of your affiliate groups, wherever you stand, whether you are a part of the union or whether you are part of the management, whether you are part of the capitalist or you are part of the socialist. View yourself as an individual who makes independent judgments. View yourself as individual who makes independent judgments. Don't go by what your group says. Likewise, look at the other person also as an individual who has a right to his own judgments, ability to make own judgments, and having his own beliefs. Then you won't confuse the criticism of the ideas versus criticism of yourself. Idea is different from the individual. Look at the idea. Ask how the idea can be made useful to both the parties. Don't fire the individual. Our paradigms, our cultural conditioning, our environment, all this make up a story of ourselves. But what we tell others and what we believe ourselves need not necessarily be the real story. We need to rephrase our thoughts. We need to rephrase our paradigm so that what we are, what we tell, and what we want others to believe are all synced up. First, after seeing yourself, you have to see the other person. Don't view the people according to their ideas. Don't paint them. The groups to which they belong. If somebody is from a union, doesn't matter, he is totally wrong. If somebody is from the management, doesn't mean they are all frauds. Don't view them according to the group that they belong. Don't paint them according to age or gender or race or color or politics or region or abilities or nationalities or sexual orientation, don't paint them. Look at every individual as an independent person with independent beliefs and experiences, independent emotions, and independent judgment capability to make choices and decisions on their ideas. Never engage in negative authorizing. Never treat the other person as somebody negative, the other negative, the aliens. Don't say either with us or with them, with us or against us. No, treat others with respect. Adopt the Ubuntu philosophy of the Bantu groups of Africa. What is the Ubuntu philosophy? It says, I need you in order to be me. If I have to be me, then you have to be you. Only then I need you. Only then I will be me. I need you in order to be me. And you need me in order to be you. If there is no me, then there is no you. You alone is nothing. You need me in order to be you. Stereotyping robs the people of the individual qualities. Make them inhuman. Don't do that. After I see myself and I see you, then I seek you out. What is that? Ask people to tell you what is on their mind. Listen carefully, listen respectably, listen attentively. Don't avoid those attitude conflict of yours. Don't avoid those whose attitude conflict with yours. There is something called the council gatherings, where one person holds a talking stick, and as long as he has the stick, he can speak at length. You too can use the talking stick communication as a productive technique. Why? Because as long as he holds the stick, he has an opportunity to voice his views, his emotions. You can hear his mind. No one can interrupt until the speaker relinquishes the talking stick. That is one way of allowing a person to tell all that he has to say. Then I synergize with you. Once I seek you out, I synergize with you. Instead of putting down other people, work with them to develop a solution that is better than either of you could achieve individually. So 1 plus 1 should not be just 2, should not be just 10, should be multiplied. I show by my own behavior that you don't have to fear me. I conduct myself in a fashion that you are not threatened. You don't have to defend yourself in front of me. We are working together for a mutual solution. This should be the attitude. Working together is not going to be easy. Synergy never simply happens. Ask the other party, are you willing to go for a solution that is better than either of us can have? Because this eliminates defensiveness. People will stop fighting. Define the criteria. What would be better look like? So when you say better than what we have, look at what we have. Look at what are the positive and negative points, and look at what the new solution could have more of these positives and less of these negatives. Create a viable third alternative through experimentation. It's a trial and error. You have to try it out. Arrive at a solution that works well for everyone. Everyone should gain benefit. Somebody should not be leaving away without any good takeaways. Recognize that the solution is good, and then ensure that others also recognize it is good. It's a skillful application of the 4 steps. What are the steps? I synergize with you, I seek you out, I see you, and I see myself. So these are the 4 steps. At work, what do we do? At work, as individuals, as institutions, we always have conflicts. 2 alternatives offering only fight or flight options is not good. You cannot, every time you have an issue, resign. You cannot, every time you have an issue, fire the other person. People often stand on pride at the workplace, but do not let pride interfere with synergy. Pride is different from synergy. Find out what is in your colleague's mind and work with them on solutions. Interdependence, cooperation, coordination are all necessary for today's teamwork. As individuals, we cannot achieve much unless we work as a team. The third alternative thinkers, imagination is the only limit on the available options. How much you can imagine, that's the only limit. So let your dreams run wild. Think critically. Be innovative in problem solving. Don't react negatively to the workplace conflict. There may be 1,000 negative things. Look at the positive. Look how you can build on the strength. Don't be afraid to be the first person to present a third alternative. Don't wait for others to make a suggestion. Make the first gesture to think differently. Don't go for a fight or flight mindset with pride. At home, marriage is ultimate transformative experience. Value the differences each person brings in. One has to complement and supplement each other. We cannot be mirror images. We cannot be clones. Avoid me good, partner bad and the victim identity. Don't say you are always right. It need not necessarily be so. What is right in the other person you are not able to see because of the colored vision. Employ the talking stick approach to work out your differences. Go out of your way to celebrate the differences. In these differences that the opposition in each person's behavior or the background that brings you together. Humor is a great tool to make the tempers flare. If you want to improve your marriage, improve your relationship, look into the mirror. Each child is a walking and talking third alternative. The child doesn't have right or wrong, but a multiple approach. At school, the ultimate goal should be the development of the leaders. Every school should be aiming at developing leaders. Leadership model educators should achieve based on the underlying philosophy that the students are the leaders of their own lives, which means students know what is to be done and what not to be done. They are the leaders of their own lives. If that school decides this is the right, this is wrong, this is how it is, this is how that is, then the student will not have opportunity to learn, to choose and judge. Each child is a walking third alternative. So do not put the students into the mindset of one or the other. It is not binary. At the law, the lawyers are unhappy people because most of them spend their time, all their life, into two alternative options. Either you win the case or you lose the case. Why don't we go for arbitration so that both the parties win? Arbitration is cheaper, faster, better, easier, and good for everybody who's sold. Arbitration is a form of alternative dispute resolution. It's a mediation where people decide whose decision they will take and they discuss and agree, negotiate and agree. It is not a fighting like a battle in the court of law. So why not look at arbitration? Why you have to be either a winner or a loser in a case filed in the court? In the society, there is always possibility for social responsibility. Now, social responsibility and individual liberty normally does not go together, but there should be a way. For example, the social problems are a breakdown between the rights and responsibilities. When you say society should be more responsible, then you are saying they will have less rights. But how do we take the haves and have-nots, the masses and the elite together? We have to promote social business. What is social business? Social business is something where every small individual will be empowered to be an entrepreneur so that they can solve their social problems themselves. This is a way recommended by Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel laureate. Because here we find giving the money away, while the right devotes itself to the free market, but makes poverty worse. Because the left wants to give the money because of the socialistic ideas, the communistic ideas, and the capitalistic ideas says it's a free market. If you give in something of value, then you will get something of value in return. So the poor become poorer, the illiterate become illiterate, the vicious circle continues. So that is why we need a social business to solve the social problems where everybody is empowered to an entrepreneur. This is a third way that is possible. In the world, Swiss are the most energetic culture. In the beginning, everything conspired against the Swiss unity: geography, the mountains, the people, the races, the background, the religion, the language. But now, the Catholic versus Protestant, the Italian versus German, the people in the mountains and the people in the plains, everybody live together as a single nation. Living by the ethic of respect, they came together, a genuine third alternative, that respecting each other is the only thing that is common among them, respecting each other is the only thing that binds them, respecting each other is the only way they need to be known to each other and to the world. In life, in the beginning, you will notice some improvement. And once you start noticing improvement, you will find you will get better at it. And once you find you will become better at it, keep on trying. Practice makes perfect. Small atomic mini habits is what is required to change your behavior, to change your character, to make yourself a leader in what you're doing. So when you do, it will become the best. So keep on doing. Believe that your best work lies ahead. Don't ever think the time is over. You can always take a U-turn, leave alone a left or right turn. There is not just yes or no. Look in between. Look for alternatives. It's always you can find a silver lining in the cloud. What are the practical aspects? Issues that curtail your mental and physical strength can act as a braking force. Issues that curtail your mental and physical strength can act as a braking force. It will prevent you from accomplishing. Don't give up or adopt a defensive attitude. Don't give up. Don't adopt a defensive attitude. You will always have a third alternative. You don't have to be right all the time. Choose being nice and kind over being right. Value relationships over rewards. In an Ubuntu society, everybody will be helping everybody else. The needs of the travelers are met by the gifts from those who you encounter on your way. You don't have to serve for yourself. The society will take care of you. That is nothing but helping each other and having a win-win. You must accommodate. Sometimes people are tough nuts to crack. You should maintain a strong character and mental serenity. Continuously conceptualize, develop, implement, refine, repair, make it better, make it shining. The third alternative solution. Synergy is what matters, and never be the prisoner of your pride. Never be the prisoner of your pride. Say I am willing to learn. Say I am sorry. Say I am wrong. Say maybe you are right. Say let me follow you. Please ask, are we working towards a better solution? Please ask, can I understand better? Please ask, can you look at the third alternative? Accept responsibility. Quickly apologize if you hurt. Extend forgiveness. Say sorry, and if you're wrong, and if somebody else is wrong, forgive them. Honor your word. Live up to your word. Honor your promises. Most importantly, take care of your health, mental and physical. Rest well, sleep well, so that you can contribute to the better life. The child must know that he is a miracle. Since the beginning of the world, there hasn't been, and until the end of the world, there will not be another child like him. What does it mean? Every one of us are unique. We have special talents, we have special capabilities. We can always find a third solution to any problem. We need not stick to the yes or no type situation. We need not stick to win-lose situation. You have and always will have a capability to bring about great good in the world. You will always have the capability to bring about a great good for the world. You are unique. Don't measure yourself against others. Dedicate yourself to helping others and making them win big. If they win, they will make you win. It is not necessarily you lose when they win. When things don't work out, take a break. Clear your mind. Maybe a 1 minute break, maybe a 1 day break, maybe a 1 month vacation. But refresh, regenerate, relax. Come with renewed vigor to get your things done. Practice rigorously and maintain your faith and approach in this life. The more you practice, the more you become better. Be it in negotiation, be it in working together, be it in critical thinking, be it in finding innovative solutions, be it in approaching the third alternatives. Your goal is to be win-win in all your dealings with others. If it is not win-win, there is no deal. Sometimes no deal is a best option. So before, what decision you will take and what risk are you willing to by having a no deal? So in summary, if a person of your intelligence and competence and commitment disagrees with me, then there must be something to your disagreement that I don't understand and I need to understand. Keep on saying this to the other party whenever you have a greater disagreement. If a person of your intelligence, competence and commitment disagrees with me, then there must be something to your disagreement that I don't understand and I need to understand it. This will ease the situation and make the person open up and say what he needs to say so that we understand why he disagrees. True alternative is not necessarily the correct option. Look inside, understand the other person. Don't look at the other person and as a group. Don't see the opposition to their ideas and opposition to the person as one and the same thing. Ask for that person's viewpoint. Ask them to have a synergetic third alternative approach. Tell them it is a cooperative approach and not competitive. Listen carefully, listen actively, empathetically. Maintain a strong character and mental serenity, not to lose hope, not to belittle others, not to get angry and walk out. Treat yourself well, treat others well. These are the takeaways that we have from The Third Alternative by Stephen R. Covey, Solving Life's Most Difficult Problems. This is Anil Kumar. Thank you for watching this video.